Let's talk some TikTok today. It's May 7th, 2024. And I know I'm late to the whole party on the TikTok ban thing. I know that was like a week and a half ago, but I just saw a new article today that's talking about it. Basically, the company that owns it, ByteDance, out of China, is suing the United States government about the bill they passed to ban it within a year if TikTok doesn't divest, or ByteDance doesn't divest from TikTok, and basically sell it to a U.S. company because China's spying on your ass if you're using TikTok, which is a little weird for me because I don't really care one way or the other, to be honest. It's interesting, but I don't use TikTok, so I feel like I'm impartial here. It doesn't really matter to me if TikTok gets banned. Fuck TikTok. Doesn't matter to me. I see the videos. I'm sure every other, more of a YouTube man. I don't really fuck with YouTube Shorts that much either. But I'm sure all the short form video content that's funny, honestly, all seems to come off TikTok. It's where it all originates. So I'll give them that. But I think it's kind of funny. The government's like, hey, let's ban TikTok. And this isn't like some new point. I'm not the first one fucking thinking of this shit, but they're gonna ban your little TikTok, your little phone app, which honestly in the long run might be a good thing. I don't know. You care if the Chinese are spying on you and fucking stealing all your data? Doesn't matter, because our government's doing the same shit. I mean, if you think for 1 second that Google isn't all over your ass on the internet, you got another thing coming. But it is China. It's a different country. Maybe you could justify it that way, but I still think it's funny that the government's all getting up in arms. They'll get their ass in gear and fucking pass a TikTok ban bill real quick. I'll make sure that goes right through. Bipartisan support. It's not a political issue. And they'll pass that shit on your little app on your phone. Meanwhile, they spy on your ass the whole time. That's their reasoning. But it comes to anything that's actually important, they wouldn't want to figure that out. Wouldn't want to get anything going that actually matters to people. So let's focus on TikTok. I don't know. You think Facebook isn't stealing all your fucking data? I'm trying to think who else. Google, Facebook. I'm sure YouTube collects all they can. Tesla. I'm sure any time you're connected to the internet, they're selling your shit. It doesn't matter. If your refrigerator's connected to the internet, they're selling your shit. What groceries you order. The Samsung fridge that tells you what you're fucking missing, that you can keep a list of what you're out of. When you're out of milk, Samsung's on your ass, bro. They know when you run out of milk. So it's interesting they'll go after TikTok. It makes sense. And now TikTok's going to sue the government to try to say, hey, you can't do that. We'll see how that goes. But if I had to guess, they're going to ban that shit. And I think the real reason they're going to ban it, I've heard a lot of different reasons. Obviously, the government says they're stealing your data, blah, blah, blah. It's a security hazard concern. Makes sense, I guess, a little bit. But I think the real reason they're going to ban it isn't like, oh, I've heard, what? It's brainwashing people. People do the fucking stupid-ass trends. That's any social media. TikTok is just the latest run of the social medias. People doing dumb shit to get views and likes and fucking on their social media doing crazy stuff. Speaking of that, drop a like on the video if you fucking like it. If not, dislike it. I don't give a shit. The thing is, though, the real reason I think they're banning it, that I was listening to somebody talking about this TikTok thing today, and I agree with them. The reason they're banning it is because you can go on TikTok. I'm going to use news. We're using news loosely, okay? But you can get like an unfiltered news. It's the same reason I think they hate on Twitter, X, and they hate on Elon, is because it's the similar type of thing. One Elon, I think TikTok's maybe a little less wild with the shit they'll show. I'm sure they have like content moderation standards still. Twitter's questionable at best with their moderation. I don't know what the fuck's going on Twitter. But it's similar things where it's like you can see basically negative opinions of the government, I feel like, easily. The guy that I was watching gave it a little example, and I checked it out myself, and it's pretty obvious. You type in any worthy news event recently, I didn't look at the TikTok one. Obviously, I told you I don't have TikTok. But on YouTube, you type in a news event on YouTube, click search. All the top results, if it's an actual news story, are going to be American news outlets, maybe the BBC, so a UK news outlet. They're going to be Western news outlets giving you the scoop on whatever the hell's happening. Which I don't know how you feel about it, but my trust of ABC News and fucking whatever, the New York Times, is not that high. But when he looked up at the same thing he was looking at the Maui fires. That happened a while back, but still. And he's looking at, and as soon as he looks it up on TikTok, it's all individual accounts. Granted, who knows who's paying these motherfuckers who have these big accounts. Technically, if you're getting paid by TikTok, I guess the Chinese government's kicking you a little money, because if it's a company in China, Chinese government got a hand in it. But still, it's not an American news outlet. And I think in general, the government wants to come down on that shit. And I think the thing that triggered it more than anything was this Israel-Palestine shit. Because I don't know for sure. Let me know in the comments if you're on TikTok. You've been seeing the Israel-Palestine shit? And if so, how much of it is all the Palestinian side? Basically, if you had to simplify it, saying the Palestinians are in the right, Israel bad. Because I think that's where it's at. Because obviously, I think TikTok's like a younger person thing. And I think generally younger people tend to be more liberal. I think you can you can connect the dots on that. It's not that hard. But in general, I don't think they like that. And this was one of the things where they got pushed hard. Because the government, I hate to break it to you, but the government doesn't do shit for you. They don't give a fuck. They don't give a fuck about you. They don't give a fuck about me. They don't give a fuck about any of these people out here. All they care about is getting elected and their donors, which get them elected. So I'm curious if maybe that is what triggered it, is this Israel-Palestine shit is like, hey, if their donors don't like that shit, they're going to come down on them and be like, hey, what can we do about this? I'm not really liking the way this is leaning. What can we do? Just so happens, then they just push through a TikTok ban bill, huh? Real efficient. Government working real efficient when their money's tied up. When it's your money, go fuck yourself. It don't matter. Whenever their money's at stake, they'll work it out. Spending bill, they'll work it out. Everybody's good friends when it's time to fucking get the checkbook out, start writing checks off your back. So I think that's interesting. But I'm really curious is like people who use TikTok. If you're watching this and you use TikTok, if there's one motherfucker out there, just leave a comment, please. I'm trying to read the comments. It's interesting. Drop a like, leave a comment, do something that I can interact with. Does that piss you off? Because like I said, I don't use TikTok, but if I did, and it already pisses me off a little bit because it's so stupid. Not the fact that it's TikTok. I don't really care that it's TikTok, but the principle is stupid. Does it not piss you off that as soon as you have something, I don't know, whatever harm comes out of TikTok, I don't think it's that much. But whatever harm it is, it's not that bad. Doesn't it piss you off that it's like as soon as you got something you kind of like, the government's like, nah, we kind of don't like it. Shut that shit down. And then they just take it away. That bothered me. Like I said, bothers me a little bit. I don't even have one. Seems kind of aggravating though. I'd like to know how you feel about it. It's interesting to me. Like I said, government works when it wants to work. When it doesn't, when it's your interests, nah. When it's big time money interests, company interests, I don't think for 1 second that YouTube, Facebook, all this, Instagram is still owned by Facebook, I think. All these big social medias, you think they didn't fucking push for that shit? As soon as there was like a little whisper that they're like, ooh, maybe they could just ban TikTok, or they're talking about banning TikTok, you think they didn't dump money into whoever was talking about banning TikTok? I guarantee it. Because it just cuts out their competition. If I had to guess, I would assume TikTok is maybe not bigger than Facebook, but it's probably bigger than all the other social medias. Because it blew the fuck up. It's huge. So I would assume it's bigger than almost all of them. So they're probably pushing and saying, hey, cut that competition out, basically. Oh, it's not a U.S. company. Cut them off. let all their customers come to us. I mean, every company's tried to copy what they do. I got rid of Instagram, I don't know, maybe like 6 months, a year ago, whatever, but they did the same shit. I mean, Instagram's I don't even know what it was. It's just a hellhole. It's not even people you follow anymore. It's just random shit, just like a Twitter is or a YouTube is. And then they put in Reels. And then Facebook puts in Reels. I'm sure it's the same thing. Shorts, YouTube Shorts. It's all just a copy of TikTok. Which, talking about that, if Elon was really smart, if I remember correctly, Twitter owns Vine. And I remember Vine when it came out. It wasn't like TikTok in the sense it was way shorter videos, but I think even before it got taken down, it was into longer format videos. So if Elon was really smart, he would either just integrate it somehow into Twitter, how Vine was set up, or just bring it back. Because if TikTok gets banned, Vine could easily come back. I don't know why Twitter ever did that back in the days before Elon owned it. But I remember they bought it and they just shut it off. And Vine had done similar, never got as big as TikTok, I don't think, but very similar to TikTok, had blown up really fast, and basically was a young, the new social media is always the young person spot, but basically had become the spot for all the young people. So honestly, Elon, if you're watching, but if he would just bring it back, I'm sure there's some money to be capitalized on in that scenario. Bring Vine back, TikTok gone, just replace it with Vine, technically, and then an American company, so you don't got to worry about it getting banned. But who knows? If it's espousing opinions that the government doesn't really like, maybe they'll shut it down. Because that seems like the only reasonable excuse of why they're really shutting it off. Yeah, China's spying. Yeah, fuck off. China's spying on you. The United States government spying on you. Fucking every other government spying on you. The U.S. government's paying other governments to spy on you since they're technically not allowed, probably. It's a shit show. Everybody's getting spied on. And if I had a sponsor, even though I have fucking 4 subs, there's a NordVPN sponsorship waiting to happen right there. Run your VPN, boys and girls. Stay safe out there. Yeah. That's not really, I guess, all you can do. Try to run a VPN. I don't even know if that shit works. I've never used one. That's your only hope to not get spied on. I'm telling you right now, incognito mode ain't working. That ain't doing shit. Google's still right behind you on the browsers, looking at what you're searching for. So it don't matter. But I think that's all I got for today. I just wanted to hop on the TikTok thing because like I said, it's interesting. It's hot. Tons of people using TikTok. In my mind, tons of people would be pissed off that they're going to take it away. Are you going to be mad that they're going to take it away? You're just going to move on. Obviously, it's not that big. It's an app on your phone. Social media, it's not huge, but still minimal, kind of annoying. So, if you liked the video, drop a like. If you didn't, dislike it. Let me know why. Hope the audio sounds better. We got the new mic up. And I'll catch you guys tomorrow.